Shalom, beloveds. This is Proverbs chapter 25. These are also the Proverbs of Solomon, which the men of Hezekiah, king of Judah, copied out. It is the glory of God to conceal a thing, but the honor of kings is to search out the matter. It's interesting because God will give you hints and riddles. It's up for you to search and find your greatness. The heaven for height and the earth for depth, and the heart of kings is unsearchable. Take away the dross from the silver, and there shall come forth a vessel for the finer or the refiner. Take away the wicked from before the king, and his throne shall be established in righteousness. Put not forth thyself in the presence of the king, and stand not in the place of great men. For better it is that it be said unto thee, Come up hither, than that thou shouldest be put lower in the presence of the prince whom thine eyes have seen. Go not forth hastily to strive. That's good. You don't want to have impatience when it comes to your journey. Allow your seeds to grow. Go forth not hastily to strive, lest thou know not what to do in the end thereof, when thy neighbor hath put thee to shame. It's very deep. Debate thy cause with thy neighbor himself, and discover not a secret to another, lest he that heareth it put thee to shame, and thy infamy turn not away. It's deep. A word fitly spoken is like apples of gold in pitchers of silver, or in settings of silver. As an earring of gold and an ornament of fine gold, so is the wise reprover upon his obedient ear. As the cold of snow in the time of harvest, so is a faithful messenger to keep them that send him, for he refresheth the soul of his masters. Whoso boasteth himself of a false gift is like clouds and wind without rain. That's deep. By long forbearing is a prince persuaded, and a soft tongue or a gentle tongue breaketh the bone. So yeah, people can con you and woo you in all type of ways. Lest thou found honey, eat so much as is sufficient. Hast thou found honey? Eat only as much as is sufficient for thee, lest thou be filled therewith and vomit it. Withdraw thy foot, and that's real. That's greed. It's like eat only as much as you need. You know, the rest is supposed to take care of the family, take care of the community, take care of the nation. You know, you start hoarding like Scrooge McDuck. Yeah, that's the sin of greed. And you'll be vomited in. You'll be literally overflowing with your blessings, and the Most High is testing you. Okay, what are you going to do with this overflowing? You're just going to let it overflow at the cup and waste it. You know, when somebody could have drunk that one drop that would have gotten them through the next day. Yeah. Withdraw thy foot from thy neighbor's house, lest he be weary of thee, and so hate thee. I'm guilty of that in my own life. Yeah. You got to remove yourself when you are overstaying your welcome. or you're overburdening, or um, you cut somebody's grass better than them or pay their bills better than them. Withdraw yourself from them. Because people from that situation, people get envious, people get jealous. You know, they lose a sense of esteem and purpose and develop, you know, shame, insults, and guilt, and fear, uncertainty, and doubt. It creates a hopelessness in them. So withdraw yourself from your neighbor's house and get your own. A man that beareth false witness against his neighbor is a maul or a club, and a sword and a sharp arrow. So yeah, if I've ever said something, it's not to be gossiping or lying on somebody's name. It's like you got to be truth no matter how much it may hurt you or the person that you're with. Shalom, everybody. This is live on TikTok, Instagram, X, Kick, Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube Live. Thank you. Shalom, family. Confidence in an unfaithful man in time of trouble is like a broken tooth or a bad tooth and a foot out of joint. And that's interesting. You see a lot of women who are faithful in a man that is a trouble. You know, it's like you can't rock with somebody nowadays who ain't been spiritually yoked, who has not done the spiritual background checks, who have not gotten themselves healed. You know, having all this confidence in people that are in and out of jail and doing all the wrong things and conning and scheming and scamming. It's a lot of trouble. It's a bad tooth. It's gonna give you a headache. It's gonna be a problem. So get it out your life. As he that taketh away a garment in cold weather, and a vinegar and as vinegar upon nitre, so is he that singeth songs to a heavy heart. If thine enemy be hungry, give him bread to eat, and if he be thirsty, give him water to drink. For thou shalt heap coals of fire upon his head, and the Lord shall reward thee. So it's like you know, to you take on that burden of looking out, and people will be like, "Oh man, I give and give, and the people don't reciprocate. They don't look out. They don't help out. They don't do any good and stuff like that." And you find yourself wanting to, almost jaded and bitter and resentful of doing that. But it's like, do it. Your rewards are upon you, not your enemy. You know, do unto others as you would want them to do unto you. And of course, your neighbor is transgressing against you, trespassing. You take the other route. Somebody's yelling and screaming. You get calm, quiet, simmer down. Don't get over emotional and heated about it. The north wind driveth away rain, so doeth any angry countenance and backbiting tongue. And that's interesting because your anger will drive away the beautiful things and important things in your life. You start losing family and friends, and people start cutting you off. You drive people away. You drove people away. So even for me, I know I have. So, but you learn your lessons. You don't take look at it as a loss. Look at it as a lesson and an opportunity to fill your cup and gain. So great glory. It is better to dwell in the corner of the housetop than with the brawling woman and in the White House. That's facts. As cold waters to a thirsty soul or a weary soul, so is good news from a far country. And it's always good when you're actually talking to people that you know and love and they give you good news. It's always kind of a downer when you just get on the phone with people and they They just dump all of they just trauma dump on you. All their woes come up out of nowhere. So a righteous man falling down before the wicked is as a troubled fountain or a murky spring and a corrupt spring or a polluted well. So yeah, like you're a righteous man and you fall down and you're doing the same things that you ain't supposed to be doing, and like you participating within the sin with the rest of the Gentiles in 83. You just as bad and polluted as them. And then people will walk around with the self-righteousness that, you know, they're doing it for a justified reason. No, you're just as corrupt and polluted as that well in that murky spring. It is not good to eat much honey. So for men to search or to seek their own glory is not glory. That's facts. When you're doing what you perceive as your purpose with malice and ill intention, the Lord knows the meditation of your heart. You can't hide. You can't run from that. When it's all about you, me, I. You're doing it for your own glory. That's for your own pride, your own ego. And you will stumble because of that. He that hath no rule over his own spirit is like a city that is broken down and without walls. If you ain't got no self-control, if you ain't got no discipline, and I run into a lot of people who are like, oh, I can't fast. I've never fasted. I can't get none of this out of my life. I love my pornography. I love my sweets and my sugars. I love, all of these different things, man. If you don't have control and discipline, if you don't have control, you'll lose control and you'll be out of control. You got to discipline yourself. Chapter 26. As snow in summer and as rain in harvest, so honor is not seemingly for a fool. So it don't make no sense. It's like we got a lot of people doing things back asswards. Truly, we got people committing to, say, the the formality of marriage, or the formality of how to raise a kid, or the formality of your moral compass and what you're supposed to do, and and walk the righteous path. Um, we do it backwards because the world is wicked, and they have found ways to manipulate and change, the the meat and potatoes behind what we were supposed to be, our foundation was supposed to rest upon. And we find ourselves, doing things out of order. And that's the thing, it's like the women want to be the head of the house and the men want to be this, which is not the case. But the way society has formulated things, us as brothers and sisters out here, we have forgotten that we just got out of 400 years of a horrible curse, trials and tribulations. We're still under the delusion. We're still entangled in the webs. We still have venom coursing through our veins because we have not had the anti-venom yet. We have not tapped into the cure. We have not tapped into, you know, the thing that is going to heal us. And so we continue to keep doing the wrong things the wrong way, going backwards. But everybody must learn their lesson. As the bird by wandering, as the swallow of flying, or by flying, so the curse causeless shall not come. A whip for the horse, a bridle for the ass or donkey, and a rod for the fool's back. Answer not a fool according to his folly. Yeah, don't answer that's nothing that you know is like, don't get yourself involved in nonsense. Like, you ain't got to explain your faith. You don't got to explain how much good the Most High God has done in your life. You don't gotta answer to no fool's folly. Their devices of wickedness already, they've already been corrupted. Their jug is full of the sins already. And they'll do their best to shame you and insult you and make you feel guilty and, you know, make you feel like you're wrong. And, even now I hear a lot of people who will shame people who are virgins, or who are trying to keep the vows, the covenant that they have within their relationships and their marriages with God. And you're getting, I've been watching so much stuff, y'all. It's crazy. But just how we have taken uh, the marital connection as horrible talking points and debates of trying to convince people of, and it's word salad and it's exhausting and people get exhausted after the conversation like, man, this has just ripped my energy. Like, why couldn't I just follow directions, follow the instructions? Why couldn't I just do the right thing? But we answer to the groupthink. We answer to the polarization of society's suppression and oppression over your mind, body, and spirit, finances, psychologically, emotionally. Yeah. And we find ourselves answering and being capitulative to these particular type of ways. It's not okay. You answer to the Most High. Lest he be wise in his own conceit. He that sendeth the message by the hand of a fool cutteth off the feet and drinketh damage. So if you're passing along the nonsense and you're reposting the goofy videos and doing the stupid stuff, the following the challenges and the trends and stuff like that, you're gonna find yourself FAFO, F around and find out. Play stupid games, wins big prizes. The legs of the lame are not equal or hang limp. So is the parable in the mouth of fools. As he that bindeth a stone in a sling, so is he that giveth honor to a fool. As a thorn goeth up into the hand of a drunkard, so is the parable in the mouth of fools. The great God that formed all things both rewardeth the fool and rewardeth the transgressors. As a dog returneth to his vomit, so a fool returneth to his folly. Man, that's deep. We always find ourselves running back and repeating history and going back and doing the same things over and over again. I find myself, and I'm like, Lord, please remove this out of my life. Like, I don't want to do this no more. I will stop right now. But we keep running back to those old relationships, those old feelings, those cookies and snacks and cakes, to the drugs, to the alcohol, to the cigarettes, you know, because we find it as a comforting place. You know, we run back to our foolishness and be like, oh, I don't know how I got back into this mess, because you ran right back into it. You were scared to take those leaps of faith, to trust in the Lord to bring you a good man, to trust in the Lord to bring you a good woman, to trust in the Lord to give you a good job, or to trust in the Lord to be able to create from the hands that you have the purpose that the Most High has ordained you to follow. But we run back to those McDonald jobs. We run back to those hoes. We run back to those deadbeats. We run back to those ill ways. And this time around, within the last 5 years, every time we run back to them, it's like the consequence for our actions and our choices and decisions are tenfold. And it becomes a situation where you're so snared and entangled in the web that you wove. It's almost it's the beautiful challenge of how much heart you got, because it's like, how much heart do you got to get out of this tangle weave that you weaved? You know. So, seest thou a man wise in his own conceit? There is no more hope of a fool than of him. The slothful man saith, there is a lion in the way, and a lion is the streets, or a fierce lion, or a plaza or square. Uh, excuse me. Excuse me. As the door turneth upon his hinges, so doeth the sloth upon his bed. So it's like you just toss and turn. It's like a pig in sludge. It's like you enjoy being lazy. You enjoy being non-ambitious. You enjoy being a non-productive person. You enjoy not following your purpose because it's scary. Because you actually got to do the work. The slothful hideth his hand in his bosom. It grieveth him to bring it again to his mouth. So it grieves you to actually do the work that you're supposed to be doing. And people will hide behind and try to keep it with the Joneses, or hide behind the makeup masks. The sluggard is wired. The sluggard is wiser in his own conceit than 7 men that can render a reason. So it's like the slothful man is trying to justify his reasons in comparison to like a man who actually is getting up and following his purpose. He that passeth by and meddleth with strife belonging not to him is like one that taketh the dog by the ears. So it's like you going ahead and like Captain Save All, or you get involved in, trying to be a good Samaritan, and that's not a good terminology because the Samaritans were not good people. But um, just being able to stick your nose in business that don't belong to you, when you start veering off in other lanes, you start ending up in traffic and congestion. You meddling in other things that don't belong to you. You're stealing somebody. Thou shalt not steal. You're stealing somebody's moment for them to figure out their trial and tribulation. As a mad, as a madman who casteth firebrands, arrows, and death, so is the man that deceiveth his neighbor, and saith, "Am I not in sport, or am I not? Am I not joking? There's not enough. I'm just playing." Before you realize how serious people are when you hurt them. It's been many times where I, you know, didn't think it was a big issue or didn't take it as serious and realize after like, oh, these people don't want to deal with you no more. Or, you know, you you messing up on a job, you think you'll get passes like that. And like, no. You have to understand that you can't keep deceiving people or making them seem like they don't see what they. You can't keep throwing rocks and telling me it's raining. You know, the deception and the deceiving error. This is a deceiving error, but it's getting called out, snake eyes. But the fact that people are so much in business of trying to deceive each other, or con and trap each other and bamboozle, and it's just the scammery is real. Where no wood is, there the fire goeth out. So where there is no talebearer, the strife ceaseth. So if you're getting away from them people that be lying and doing all that conning and stuff like that, talking out of the side of their mouth, you know, your life is much more calm. You start to not become and succumb to the ways of the company you keep. My mother used to tell me who you hang out with, and I tell you who you are. You hang out with powerful, strong, intelligent people, you will be that. You hang around with bums and losers, you will be that. As coals are to as coals are to burning coals, and wood to fire, so is the contentious man to kindle strife. So yeah, that's your moral compass right there. When you got the integrity to be like, nah, this strife and this foolishness and stuff like that, I ain't rocking with that. That's when you know that you've hit, a brand new level in your life of affirming your boundaries with yourself and the world around you. The words of a talebearer are as wounds, and they go down into the innermost parts of the belly. So you have many, especially women, who will, and I'm not excusing it, but you have many that will lie about, somebody looking at them and calling them a creep, or somebody doing something nice for them and calling it harassment, or, you ended up in a very bad circumstance and somebody helped you out and it's called a SA, or, any type of sexual type of uh, sin against somebody, and you have many people who have lied. We've had many people who have committed sin and have lied because of the shame that they try to mask behind, and the reactions, their shortcomings lashed out in that very temporary moment in life, but created lasting consequences. And, the aftermath, the after effect of it, the people who have a guilty conscience try to find remorse, but it's like you can't choose your consequences. But then you got people who will be like, oh, I'm going to take it to the grave. And you walk around, these 7, 8 billion people who walk around with things that are troubling them from 10 years ago, 20 years ago, 30, 40, 50 years ago. And it's starting to weigh on, we're only human. We're still susceptible to the flesh. And many people will look themselves in the mirror and try to tell themselves these lies and reprogram them as their truths. And people will walk out with a different truth that they think is truth, or really it has been masked as a tale. Burning lips and the wicked, and burning lips and fervent lips and a wicked heart are like a potsherd covered with silver dross. He that hateth dissemble or disguises it with his lips, and layeth up deceit within him. So yeah, you got people that will be trying to congratulate you and root you on and do all this and do all that for you, but really, low key, they hate you. When he speaketh fair, believe him not, for there are 7 abominations in his heart, whose hatred is covered by deceit. His wickedness shall be showed before the whole congregation. Whoso diggeth a pit shall fall therein. So yeah, you dig your own pit, you gonna fall in it. And that's for people that we're running into, where we're in spiritual court right now, where people cannot be in denial about the things that they're doing, and their pride and their stubbornness. They be like, well, I didn't have no control over it because I was on my period or I had menopause, or, it's the amount of tales that we tell ourselves to convince ourselves to not be accountable for our choices, our words, and our actions. You dug the pit. Do you have the heart to get out of it? And he that rolleth a stone, it will return upon him. A lying tongue hateth those that are afflicted by it, and a flattering mouth worketh ruin. It's deep. 27. Boast not thyself of tomorrow, for thou knowest not what a day may bring forth. Let another man praise thee, and not thine own mouth. And that's humility. Knowing that, yeah, you can big yourself up and you did this and did all that and stuff like that. And we tend to find ourselves trying to present ourselves to people and give them our resumes of who we are, and try to grandstand like I am, now you're beneath me, like you can't talk to me type of thing. And that boasting is pride. And people find themselves creating people around them that will envy and hate them, and will lie to their face and be like, oh yeah, I'm cool with it, but no, I'm not cool with you being boastful. I think about all the circumstances in your surroundings. A stone is heavy and the sand weighty, but a fool's wrath is heavier than them both. Wrath is cruel and anger is outrageous, But who is able to stand before envy? Open rebuke is better than secret love. And I openly rebuke all my anger and my wrath and being a fool. Because anytime I was outrageously wrathful, I was cruel, I was mean. I said horrible things to people that I truly loved, you know, out of stupidity. When you look back at it in hindsight, when you could have handled situations and occurrences much more better, when your anger is not suppressed for things that we find ourselves strapping a badge of justification of why we have to participate in the moment and thinking that the anger is a tool in a utility belt to facilitate or douse. It's not great. It's not help. It's not creating a solution. It's adding more of the problem, and it becomes more embarrassing and shameful. Faithful are the wounds of a friend, but the kisses of an enemy are deceitful. The full soul loatheth an honeycomb, but to the hungry soul, every bitter thing is sweet. So people find sweetness in being bitter. It's so bad right now. It's such an epidemic where people are really like in their bag. They're really flagshipping for that bitterness, that jadedness, that resentment. People find that is much more comfortable and sweet and savory to stay in that. And they use it as their talking points or their way to justify their flaws and the ability to take accountability. The ability now for people to take accountability, men to take accountability for all the dumb stuff that we did, selling drugs, domestic violence, getting locked up, not having a job, being selfish, not providing, not taking care of the kids out here. Your kids, not everybody else's kids. We're just talking about your kids. As a bird that wandereth from her nest, so is a man that wandereth from his place. So when you get away from your purpose and you get away from what you're supposed to be doing in life, you end up in the deep dark abyss. Ointment and perfume rejoice the heart, or delight the heart, or literally counsel of the soul. So doeth the sweetness of a man's friend by hearty counsel. So when you got good people in your life, it's good. It feels good when somebody actually cares about you more than you may care about yourself in that particular moment. You may have gotten a chink in your armor, emotionally, and it made you insecure, or a memory may have brought back into remembrance on a significant day, and so we find ourselves, you know, um, needing to get our gas tank filled up, and hopefully we will have loved ones around us who support us enough to pick us up and help fill us, you know. Thine own friend and thy father's friend forsake not, neither go into thy brother's house in the day of thy calamity. For better is a neighbor that is near than a brother far off. Wow, that's so deep. Stop going into other people's homes and causing chaos. I realized that even myself, how much I was causing anger and frustration and disruption and dysfunction, even within the AK Nation or my own family and friends that I've had, not being able to be in control of my circumstances and making people to, trying to justify, making people to understand where I was coming from. Don't nobody got to give a damn about you. And he'll show you right then and there that they don't. that you don't exist. So be mindful of the calamities that you cause around, you know, because if you love thy neighbor that much, then you wouldn't bring your calamities to the table. You bring a spoon, you bring a knife, you bring a fork, you bring something of how can I be of service? How can I show my love to thy neighbor? You know, and it goes both ways, you know. But you have to worry about yourself when you start trying to have this competitive measure up of comparisons. That's where we fall into that envy bubble. That's where we fall into that the slothful bubble because it takes your eyes off the ball of your focus of what the most high purpose, what the most high God's purpose he has for you. So, because your brother may actually look out for you more than the people that are close to you. My son, be wise and make my heart glad, that I may answer him that reproacheth me. A prudent man foreseeth the evil and hideth himself. But the simple pass on and are punished. Take his garment that is surety, or a guarantee or collateral for a stranger, and take a pledge of him for a strange woman. He that blesseth his hand with a loud voice, rising early in the morning, it shall be counted as a curse to him. A continual dropping in the rate in the very the continual dropping in a very rainy day and a contentious woman are alike. Whosoever hideth her hideth the wind, or restrains the wind, and the ointment of his right hand, which bewrayeth itself. It's a lot of contentious women. It's a lot of contentious women, beloveds. And many of my beloved sisters don't know how to restrain themselves. It's not about being submissive to a man. Are you submissive to the Most High God? I've watched so many videos of watching my sisters like lose themselves within the vanity, within this wicked world. We've gotten away from a lot of our statutes and the commandments and really having a good sense of direction within our own moral compass. It's unfortunate that many of our women don't want our great men to lead them because they have felt that their white government zaddy led them. And it's hard to break that as a black man. It's hard to convince. Gotten in many conversations about that. It's hard to convince you that otherwise when you're still holding on to the wicked world. You're still holding on, then you get kicked to the curb. It's crazy because like over 100,000 black women got fired. It's like your white government zaddy kicked you to the curb. You kicked the black. He told you to kick the black man to the curb, and the black man was like, "Damn, you kicked me to the curb. Like we went through these troubles together. 400 years, we went through this together." It's interesting because I've heard a debate of who walked out on who first, and it wasn't like a epidemic of brothers going towards interracial dating or white women during these times where government was throwing welfare and Section 8 and all these things. No, a lot of our women made the choice first to go towards these things. Couldn't restrain themselves. Brothers got locked up, and you got to understand this is the Willie Lynch letters all over and all over and all over again. When you separate the alpha male, the strong man, from the household, our women have become much more susceptible. You become easy pickings. It's no different than a lion and the injured antelope in the wild. You can be amongst the herd, but when the herd runs off, you become easy pickings. This is guerrilla war tactics. They'll injure y'all to get to us. They'll injure us to get to y'all. They'll do the kids wrong to get to both of us. So you gotta understand the dynamics of the macro atrocities that were committed upon us. And it's amazing to see a lot of brothers that have been restrained from a lot of being capitulative to the things that were done to us. We stop contributing to these things. We stop conforming to these things. We stopped bowing down and started standing up and started being better fathers and started getting our credit together. We started recultivating and reprogramming and re-engineering our purpose through the Most High. And I think that's where all greatness comes from, is through the Most High. When it starts coming through all of these other things, like you got your wealth and success because of the evil things, the Lord giveth and he can take it away as well, on both sides. And you're seeing welfare getting taken away. You're seeing Section 8 being taken away. You're seeing the food stamps being taken away. You're seeing all of these very cozy, comfortable, steady jobs, mundane, be scraped. And I'm seeing a lot of people in desperate mode right now. And because they're in desperate mode, it's hard for them to restrain the emotional desperation behind that, the inclination of it's starting to expose the meditation of people's hearts. Where you're seeing brothers that may be going back to trapping again. You may be seeing women going back to walking the streets again. But when the Most High is testing you right now, do you have the strength? Do you have the discipline? Do you have the wherewithal to be like, nah, I'm not going to participate in something that keeps destroying me or keeps taking me back into this crazy cyclical cycle of destruction? Have we learned our lessons from what has occurred already right now? I'm so thankful to have the Most High in my life to be able to have that discernment of being able to stop the stuff that I was doing before. And that's where we're at right now, stopping. Have the restraint. Iron sharpens iron, and that's what I'm doing. So a man sharpeneth the countenance of his friend. A lot of people didn't like that about me, is because I'm so military boot camp about when it comes to, the purpose, my purpose and everybody else's purpose and our greatness to be able to, build these Wakandas or whatever the case may be, you know. And when you're dealing with people who are envious, covertly, you may not know who may be around you, who may hate everything you're doing. And they will do everything behind the scenes to sabotage you. You got people who are slothful, who will drag whatever you're doing. You trying to bring them on because they family and friends, and you trying to show the homie hookup and stuff like that. Your own folks will drag you down. But you are the company. You are the company you keep. And anybody who's ever been around me, I may be stern, I may be strong in my stature and firm. But every single person can say that they came out better or they learned something. I helped sharpen others and they helped sharpen me. I don't put the bad times that I had with people on a trophy shelf and look at those things and be like, that's when you start boasting, prideful, and glorifying yourself. Like, no. You went through that circumstance for it to sharpen you and forge you through the fire so you can come out sharper and stronger than you ever thought yourself could be. Iron sharpens iron. We're supposed to make each other better. You're not supposed to take it personal and get pissed off. Somebody's looking out for you. You got a booger in your nose. Hey, bruh, go put some deodorant on. Hey, bruh, what the hell are you doing? Go see your kids. What's wrong with you, sis? Why your house dirty? Why you cheat on that man that was good to you? When you got people who tell you what's going on, you don't want to take it. You don't want to be sharpened. You want to be dull. And when it comes time for you to rise to the occasion, you don't cut it. Whosoever keepeth the fig tree shall eat the fruit thereof. So yeah, if you do the work to plant your seeds, you will be able to eat from those seeds. The more and more I put into my special chicken that I make on Fridays, everybody loves my chicken on Fridays. I'm telling you, it's a hit out here. Great glory to the Most High, being able to give me the hands and the discernment to be able to make it. But you will eat from the work that you do if you do it righteously and you do it for the glorification of the Most High, knowing that He gave and He's making a way for you. He is filling up the valleys and moving the mountains and putting the mountains behind you. And you got a clear lane to do and go and everything you can, as long as you stay on the beaten path. So he that waiteth on his master shall be honored. So you have to wait. You have to be patient. A tree don't grow in a day, y'all. Anything that I've gotten accomplished to this point now, I know I had to go through that process. You have to go through the process in order to progress. But you have to wait on it. You have to wait for the beautiful moment, the right moment. You take more joy when you have that discipline. It becomes more fruitful when you don't cut no corners and take shortcuts. It feels good when you read that whole book. It feels good when you studied that whole subject and you passed it with flying colors, A plus plus. It feels good when you finish that song. It feels good when you finish that quilt, that basket, that craft of yours. It feels good to be able to eat from the fruit that you. If you stop watering your fruit, if you stop watering your seeds, they're not going to blossom in the harvest that you thought that they were going to be blossoming on. All it does is become vulture food. As in water faceth, and as in water face answereth to face, or reflects. Everything you do is a reflection of you. Wow. Damn, that's a bar. I need to write that down. Everything you do is a reflection of you. Let me not. That's a beautiful bar. I ain't thinking that. All right. And, reflection of you. Regular. Where'd I go? Okay, as in the water face answereth to face, so the heart of man to man. Hell and destruction are never full. Wow, that's deep. So the eyes of man are never satisfied. And that's true. Our flesh is never satisfied. We keep on lusting and being gluttonous over our fleshly. So is the eyes of man that are never satisfied, as the fining or refining pot of silver and a furnace of gold. So is a man to his praise. Though thou shouldest bray or grind a fool in a mortar among wheat with a pestle, yet will not his foolishness depart from him. That's facts. Can't change people. Stop trying to change people. You can't try to change that man and try to mold him and stuff like that. Fellas, you can't turn no home no housewife. So stop trying to mold things. You can't change. People have to change for themselves. Be thou diligent to know the state of thy flocks, and attend to thy herds, or look well to thy herds. For riches are not forever, and that's a problem. I've seen so many videos where it's just like all women want is a man with money. That's not it, ladies. That's not it. I've seen so many women who think your great grandmothers and grandmothers didn't have no money, impoverished. But you know what? They had that one person that loved them. The Most High will provide. But when we thinking that all of these get rich quick schemes, when thinking that you ladies think they need a baller and a rich man, which is a very small percentage in America, let alone around the world. These riches come and go, just like your beauty, it comes and goes. Men are willing to be honest with ourselves and be humble and take accountability with that. I want my ladies to understand that part, that men operate that way. And having the humility of knowing that we're going to have ups and downs. We can't panic. We can't get frantic when our way doesn't come. Men are so used to being rejected. We're so used to that. So we know that things come in flows, and we are humble to know that this stuff ain't going to last. We understand that it's a deeper purpose. And on the surface, the riches provide a facade to fluff that ego, to fluff your arrogance. It's a false confidence. And people hold on to it pridefully. For riches are not forever, and doeth the crown endure to every generation. Sometimes it don't pass down. And people don't realize those riches are not the riches that you those riches are not the riches that you're supposed to be passing down to your generations, the next generation. Is that wisdom? It's that knowledge. That's the new sexy. The ladies, a man who's intelligent, wise, and experienced. You have a lot of rich fools out here. And go and follow your heart's desire. That's what it is. It's not the Most High's path for you, but you're going to do what you do. But the wealth of riches are internal. The riches that pass down in a generation for your children to see that the mother and the father were married for years in the same house, happy, never argue. Those are rich. When a man is able to build his own with his own hands, that is rich. Not the riches that the wicked have an infinite abundance of. You can go out here and get the riches, get quick scheme. You can get out here and be a 304. You can be out here and be a trap god. The abundance of the wickedness is infinite. But the moment that you sign that contract with your blood, you're going to be tossed into hell with hot fire water. That is not the riches that will endure the generations and generations. You got people who have accumulated all of this wealth, never passed down any of the gems. They bought gems. People walk around with recipes still in their spirit. People walk around with all of the opportunities and resources to help the community. especially now because there's a lot of the elders are getting taken off of the monopoly board right now, and all of that time, all of that money that just sat in the piggy banks didn't collect interest. It actually started depleting because of all of the different devices and that are weaponized, especially since COVID, that have eaten into your bottom dollar, that has put your profit into red, that has taken your 401k, the equity in your house, the savings in your bank account, the investments that you have, because we get slothful and content and thinking that, oh, I made it, but you celebrating in the end zone, but you dropped the football on the 1 yard line, and the replay cam is showing you, oops, you dropped the ball before you got into the end zone. So many have ran the race for their family, like I'm gonna provide and protect, I'm gonna do everything, I'm gonna give my kids everything. But you didn't give them the knowledge and the wisdom. You didn't give them the opportunity to make those same steps in their own walk. People will put down rose petals in their jackets and their umbrellas and pillows to soften the blow for others when you should have let them learn on their own. You're supposed to pass that wise counsel, just like you want your fellow neighbor and your brother to give you counsel. We're supposed to be passing this knowledge down to the next generations. This is the richness that I can give my brothers and sisters out there. I've had many people ask me for money. It's like, you're asking for these riches, but you're not willing to commit to the wealth building for the next generations. No, that's too hard. That's too much. I don't want to do that. And it's like you start, be ye separate, said the Lord, touch not the unclean thing, and I will receive you. When you start getting away from these things, where people are just begging you for money, and then we're in an era right now where people have lost everything and they're begging. You got family members that'll call you up out of nowhere, start hitting you up out of nowhere, start liking your photos. Oh, we ain't talked in a minute, and why? There's reasons why that you choose to not take responsibility and accountability for. And because I've chosen to remove myself. But we find ourselves in this time and era where many of our elders are going off home and they've just become Scrooge McDucks. And you got many out here that have had to find their own way, which is fine. That's what you're supposed to do. With your stick and dying flashlight, you are supposed to go through this jungle to get to that light. And you will get there if you keep searching. Even if you didn't have, I think I said this in the last video, where, your parents, honor our parents, where they're the ones, the children, I'm talking to the children now, like, they're the ones who, you got to honor thy mother and thy father, because they're the ones who are paving the way for you. And when you shame them, insult them, make them feel guilty, it is demoralizing in many capacities. I didn't want to make my parents' life even more stressed out and miserable as more than it already is. And we find ourselves overlooking, because we're focused on the gimme, gimme aspect, the Merry Christmas effect. And we lose sight of what's really important. So the riches is not in the riches, beloveds. It's in that love. It's in that compassion. It's in that commitment. It's in that loyalty. It's in those gems, that wisdom that you pass down, those stories, this book, this beautiful book that is the instructions for all beloved brothers and sisters out there. These are your basic instructions before you leave this earth. So yeah, great glory. I know that was kind of long, but that was in my spirit. So Hallelujah. The hay appeareth or is removed, and the tender grass show itself. So when the hay is removed, like you start seeing the grass is green on your side of the fence. It's been green this whole time. We just go through little spurts of droughts and trials and tribulations where you're being forged through the fire. Sometimes your harvest may not harvest, but deep down under it, it's growing. You have to trust, you have to have the faith and belief. And the herbs of the mountains are gathered. The lambs are for thy clothing, and the goats are the price of the field. And thou shalt have goats, milk enough for thy food, and for the food and for thy of thy household, and for the maintenance for thy maidens. The wicked, no, chapter 28. The wicked flee when no man pursueth, but when the righteous are bold as a lion. But the righteous are bold as a lion. So in the presence of a strong man, of a good man, the hyenas scatter off. The buffalo, the bison, the antelope, the gazelles, they scatter off. For a lot of brothers and sisters out there, when they see a strong sister or they see a strong brother, that scares the heck out of a lot of people, especially when you're silent. Silence is might, it's powerful. But when you see strong boldness, that's why they took a lot of the strong black men that were in the educational system out. Black men really got kicked out of a lot of different departments that we were supposed to be as equally involved in. We were supposed to be in the medical fields. We were supposed to be in the, the educational fields, the engineering fields, the scientific fields, the the law, the legislative fields, the political fields. There's been many strategies coordinated to keep you boxed out. They look at your resume. You may not even gone to jail, but because you are BLACK on that resume, you get disqualified. Even when you know you're highly qualified for it. So yeah. For the transgressions of a land, many are the princes thereof. But by a man of understanding and knowledge, the state, or literally it, the state thereof shall be prolonged. A poor man that oppresseth the poor is like a sweeping rain which leaveth no food. And that's bad too. You got many who are who act that way. You're the best version of your oppressor. They that forsake the law praise the wicked. That's facts. But such as keep the law contend with him. Evil men understand not judgment or justice, but they that seek the Lord understand all things. Great glory. Better is the poor that walketh in his uprightness or his integrity than he that is perverse in his ways, though he be rich. And that's such a fact. Like I said, I've been watching so many videos. I'm not even gonna go deep into it, but all of the times that I was broke or I was down and out or anything like that, poor, I still remember maintaining my integrity even when I was dead hungry. Outside sleeping in my car, and I would watch my friend steal from the grocery store. And it's like, well, I'd rather go hungry than to commit that and let that snare my soul, you know? And sometimes it's hard to maintain that integrity because you are salivating raging, hungry bear in a cage, desperate, you know. And that comes down to the discipline. When you're hungry, and that's one of the most basic things behind breathing. When you need to breathe, you'll do anything to get that breath of air. You will wail your arms to get to the surface of that water so you can get that air. When you're hungry, you'll express every agitation because it's not normal to you to be in that space of scarcity, and it brings something out of you. And many of our brothers and sisters have succumbed to these, shortcomings, and it really does change you. And we think that, oh, I can do this and it'll be all right. No, it's not all right. And you got many things where, okay, you may have stolen that piece of bubble gum when you were 13, but now that you're 53, the Most High has stolen your bubble gum or taken the bubble gum that you used to have. And that's just an example, you know. But when you are going through your most tribulated times, poor or not, deficient, disabled or not, you still must walk upright. You still must maintain character even when somebody is doing you wrong. And I'm guilty of that myself. As many times as I've sat here and hoot and holler and gotten out of my character, got angry, knowing that I should have been walking upright and I could have handled situations much more better. But that's poor decisions, that's poor thinking, that's poor emotionally, that's poor physically, that's poor financially. And we have to be able to understand the integrity behind our words, our choices, and actions. Great glory. Whoso keepeth the law is a wise son or a discerning son, but he that is a companion of riotous men or gluttons shameth his father. And that's crazy because it's like, and it's men and women. You got men who shame their fathers because they didn't provide. They're gluttonous, or you overly want or a woman who may not have something that is, for one, begging a man to help take care of you. You are 100% responsible for your adult responsibilities. I don't know how we got in the way. That's what I'm saying. We've we've poisoned the wells of what is supposed to be the way of things. Um, Shalom, family. But we sit there and we shame our wives, we shame our children, we shame our mothers and fathers, we shame your husband, you shame your wife because you want to overindulge. And that's what we've been doing a lot. We've been really in a business, in a professional business. You got people who are professional content creators shaming, not uplifting. You're not helping each other out. You're not coming up with the solutions. You're constantly just picking the scab of the problems and opening up the wounds even more, and throwing salt and dirt on it, spitting on it. When do we heal? How do we heal? Why do we need to heal? We need to heal because we have been damaged. We're still damaged goods right now, beloveds. And it's going to take a lot of work to be able to get these things right. It's going to take time to water your seeds so they grow fruitful the way they're supposed to. But when you're being gluttonous and not doing the work yourself to be able to get up off of your behind, to be able to water that plant, and you want your father and your mother and everybody else to take care of you and do all of these things, it's not going to grow fruitfully like you want to because you have not put in the work for it, beloved. He, he that by usury and unjust or extortion gain increaseth his substance or his possessions, he shall gather it from him. He shall gather it for him that will pity the poor. Yeah, wow, that's deep. He that turneth away his ear from hearing the law, even his prayer shall be abomination. Whoso causeth the righteous to go astray in an evil way, he shall fall himself into his own pit. So yeah, if you that goes to a lot of these pastors and preachers who don't practice what they preach. When you got the Joel Osteens of the world that lock the doors to their congregation when Katrina's going on, or yeah, these things have happened. That's just one example. I'm not going to go down the whole list, but and then you extort the poor, the guy who locked the doors to his church and said his congregation ain't leaving until they cough up $40,000. These are the things. You're leading the people astray. The rich man is wise in his own conceit or in his own eyes, but the poor that hath understanding searcheth him out. When righteous men do rejoice, there is great glory. But when the wicked rise, a man is hidden, or literally will be sought. He that covereth his sins shall not prosper, but whoso confesseth and forsaketh them shall have mercy. I'm going to say that again. That's for anybody out here who is struggling and who's on the fence. He that covereth his sins shall not prosper, but whoso confesseth and forsake them shall have mercy. Do not hide from who you are. Do not change who you are for nobody, for the world, for the company. You change when you have come to 100% agreement of your sins and your wrongdoing. When you have fully come to an understanding that my wicked ways have not benefited me, I have not prospered, I have not gotten better. Matter of fact, I've gotten worse. Matter of fact, my head is messed up. Matter of fact, I've gained weight. Matter of fact, my pockets are empty. Why? Because I'm still out here in these streets. Why? Because I'm still damaged and I'm a hurt person, so I gotta hurt somebody else. You have to confess these things and forsake them out of your spirit. The mercy comes from the ones who confess. Yes, I was angry. Yes, I've lied. Yes, I put my hands on my family, my friends, my wife, my husband, my neighbor. Yes, I've spoken ill about my brothers and sisters. Yes, I've backbited. Yes, I've slid. Yes, I've cheated. I don't feel good about any of those things. And as I confess them, I forsake them. I have not done any of those things since then. And that feels so good. I give the Most High all praise of knowing that during that time when the moment happened, to look at it hindsight and just be like, thank you, God. Time heals and allows things to blossom and grow from that dirt instead of sitting in that hurt. I do forsake all of the stuff that I've done stupidly. Loving people I wasn't supposed to love, doing things that I wasn't supposed to be doing, going places where I wasn't supposed to be going. It's like I've gone through every experience just to find out if I was supposed to do it or not, or if I liked it or not. You know, I've done dumb stuff in my life. And I'm grateful that the Most High has had mercy on me to be able to acknowledge it and correct it, to be able to correct your mistakes and to get back on the righteous path. It's liberating, being at peace. And even when you're around temptation and everybody is still indulging in these things, when people may still make you feel bad because you're abstaining, you know, you may have celibacy because you're controlling your desires and things like that. You're losing weight because you're dieting, because you're not eating those sugars and sweets and all of the junk that you used to eat. I'm a garbage disposal, so yeah, I got a sweet tooth. But I also don't want my feet to get cut off. I also don't want to go out in ways that I know that I could have controlled, or I could have stopped and forsaken it and done better, and it would have made my days longer. You will be shown mercy when you put that alcohol down. You will be shown mercy when you stop being pissed off at the rest of the world for what you need to work on for yourself. And that was my thing. I was pissed at the world because I almost died as a kid. Mad at everybody, mad at my dad because he wasn't there to protect me, mad at him. Yeah. I needed mercy. I needed help. And when it comes in the form of the Lord, I promise you, He gonna take care of you. He ain't gonna turn His face away from you. He gonna hear your prayers, supplications, and He is going to get you through. But if you're hiding and you lying to yourself in the mirror, you lying to your mama, your daddy, you lying to everybody, and you ain't forsaking it, you're not gonna be shown mercy. You're gonna keep going down that spiral. And I see that with a lot of people. And so I hope that I can help somebody out there to be able to understand that you can do it. You can stop drinking. You can work on your beautiful body and get it as sexy for the summer as you possibly can. You can stop smoking. You can stop hurting yourself. You can stop being physically, emotionally, verbally abusive to the people that you say that you love. You can stop stealing from yourself and from the people around you. You can stop stealing people's time. You can stop being jealous of what everybody else got. You can stop being jealous that white people got this, or Mexicans or Indians got the casinos. And you can stop being mad and envious and jealous and wrathful in that, and lusting and being of wanting to be as greedy as the people that are sinning. You're just as sinful wanting to drink from that sinful well. You have to forsake these things. You have to have the discipline and discernment to be able to stop and put it on hold. Great glory. Happy is the man that feareth always, but he that hardeneth his heart shall fall into mischief. I fear. I fear because I know how much and what the Most High is capable of. So I shall not dare be a dumbass, knowing that I know better and I chose not to do better. No. You're being stubborn. You're hardening your heart to continue to be, and you're going to get what you ask for. F-A-F-O. F around and find out. As a roaring lion and a raging bear, So is a wicked ruler over the poor people. And that's coming down to a lot of these pastors and preachers and apostles. They have been lying to the congregations and been wicked rulers over our communities. They must not be supported no longer. Church and state have been in marriage with each other since the beginning. State has been enforcers of it, and church has been the snake oil salesmen, the horse whisperers, the dog whisperers in the community to make you docile and hypnotize you and lullaby you into a deep, docile slumber. It's time for all my beloved brothers and sisters out there to wake up to the wicked. Great glory. The prince that wanteth understanding or lacks understanding is also a great oppressor. Yeah. So when you don't know what you're doing and you're in the positions of power and all these different things, yeah, you're no different from the people that oppressed you. You just become a master version of it. But he that hateth covetousness shall prolong his days. You gotta hate, you gotta despise, wanting to covet, desiring. You're desiring somebody else's car. You're desiring somebody else's lady. You're picturing yourself wanting to do nasty things with her. Ladies, you're picturing yourself wanting to take somebody's husband. You got to hate yourself for wanting to do these things. A man that doeth violence to the blood of any person shall flee to the pit. Let no man help him. You can't help nobody who wants to be rageful and acting that violence. I ain't gonna lie, y'all. I'm glad because it's crazy. I'm so thankful that I've told the people in my life about, my childhood traumas, but I'm also grateful that nobody acted on it. I'm grateful that I didn't and haven't and won't act on any of the previous wrathful ideas I may have had about wanting to do harm to somebody who may have done harm to me. And that's the programming that I went through since a kid. We get programmed to want to hurt the people back that hurt us. We do. But the moment that you do that, you have to understand that you committed that sin and can't nobody jump in front of you in a cafeteria lunch line to eat your cold potatoes of judgment. Can't nobody carry your tray of your cold potatoes of judgment. Simple as that. You spill blood, you steal, you covet. You're going to have to walk that line yourself. You need to be more responsible and more accountable. You need to be. Whoso waketh uprightly shall be saved, but he that is perverse in his ways shall fall at once. He that tilleth his land shall have plenty of bread, but he that followeth after vain persons shall have poverty enough. Wow. He that tilleth his land shall have plenty of bread, but he that followeth after vain persons shall have poverty enough. It's interesting because I've always been like a great supporter of everybody else's dreams. I never planted my seeds and never cultivated and nurtured my seeds. I always found myself being pissed that I gave and invested all of my time in everybody else's dreams and aspirations, and I get mad at them for not allowing me to focus on like what that where the I had to really sit down in my own deep introspection and shadow work and work that out, and it became funny and laughable. No is a complete sentence. No is a verb. It's an action. It's a word. You must express it in order for it to be reciprocated. And there goes my stomach growling. It says, say it to the church. Say it to the people in the back. If you don't tend to your own gifts and your own talents, they will go by the wayside. If you are a great writer, write that book, write that song. If you are great at building things, start making companies. I have at least 30, 40 companies that I aspire to want to create that will literally help our brothers and sisters out there. Now, am I going to talk about them right now? No, because people hate. When you start kissing and telling, I have seen throughout my life that people, you make envy, you make people envious. You're like, oh, why didn't I come up with that? You could have came up with your own stuff, but you become a mirror image of what people should become. And it is difficult for people to be able to rise to their own occasions. So till your own bread, work on your own talents and your own gifts. This is the time to bring the greatness that is in you out. A faithful man shall abound with blessings. You have to be faithful. You have to be faithful. Even when people did me wrong, I operated in disgusting stupidity of not being faithful and trying to justify, like, oh, you did me wrong. Okay, I'm going to be unfaithful. And I snared my own soul with the Most High, whether it's lusting or cheating or anything like that. And I've never been no crazy serial cheater, but I have done it in my life twice that I can remember, that I know for sure, where I made the conscious thought to go and do that stupid stuff to justify the wrongdoing. They did that to me, but that tit for tat, that immature emotional shortcoming, I had to grow from that. I had to get better. Amen. A faithful man is abound in with his blessings, but he that maketh haste to be rich shall not be innocent. And that was real. To have respect of persons is not good. For a piece of bread that man will transgress. To have respect of persons is not good. For a piece of bread that man will transgress. He that hasteth to be rich hasteth an evil eye, and considereth not poverty shall come upon him. He that rebuketh a man afterwards shall find more favor than he that flattereth with his tongue. Whoso robbeth his father or his mother, and saith, it is no transgression, the same is the companion of a destroyer. Wow. So you willing to, man, shame, man. I ain't even bet it. That ain't my call to say you, shame on you. The Most High will take care of you for that because you're not honoring thy mother and thy father. But when you rob the land, when you rob mother's land, rob, rape, pillage, squander, waste savagely. I had a dream. Oh man, I'll be having these beautiful dreams. I had a dream that the Gentiles, the 83, were that I was going across the lands and I was excavating, or I was finding out about that they were laying their waste, like the landfills and the toxic waste and stuff like that, on um, what am I thinking about right now? Ancestral blessed land where our forefathers have walked. You know what I'm saying? Like how much of a smack in the face of mockery do these people commit to committing to doing these things? Like there was trash waste on the burial grounds of our beloved brothers and sisters of the past, our ancient ones, putting nuclear waste. You know what I'm saying? Like I had that, and I was going around and I was touching the land and I was like extracting all of this and I was holding it. and it was kind of like an Hadouken back at them. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, but it really made me think of how much of the land that belonged to our ancestors, that they contaminated those lands or made them non-livable or anything like that to um, keep us away from them. You know, and I've always been a person that, like, I'm going to seek out before I get somebody else's reference. Not saying that I'm not taking your reference in consideration, but it's like I want to go watch that movie because I wanted to. And when you do watch it and you see it from a different perspective, you know, you start really putting things in perspective. But yeah, he that is of a proud heart stirreth up strife. He that putteth his trust in the Lord shall be made fat. He that trusteth in his own heart is a fool, but whoso walketh wisely shall be delivered. He that giveth unto the poor shall not lack, but he that hideth his eyes shall have many a curse. And I always help the poor mentally, emotionally, psychologically, a little bit of financial. You know, my thing is now, if I see somebody who's poor and homeless and stuff, I'm not gonna give you no money. I'm gonna give you some food. I'll give you some food. It's gonna give you the strength to be able to persevere on. I give people food. I'll make a plate. I'll make you a plate. I'll have you try some of my special chicken because it is delicious. I ain't gonna lie, I make it every Friday, but every time I felt like I helped, and it wasn't like I'm doing any of this. I don't do this stuff to just put it on the gram. I do it for my own releasing of my own conscious. It ain't even guilty or nothing like that. My own spirit is like it's a part of who we are to be. I love myself that much that I know that if I saw myself in that predicament, I would have helped myself. So yes, I was always truly grateful, and I always gave back to the people who did look up, who did look back and lended a hand to pull me up. I did go back and remember those people. I did pay off any debts that I did. There's somebody looking out for me. I'm like, man, that person really did look out for me when I was in a worse position, and I'm grateful for them. So how about me showing my gratitude by double showing them? So I trust in the Lord. And you have to trust in the Lord in all aspects of your life. When the wicked rise, men hide themselves. But when they perish, the righteous increase. Chapter 29. He that being often reproved harden his neck shall suddenly be destroyed, and that without remedy. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn. Whoso loveth wisdom rejoiceth his father, but he that keepeth company with harlots spendeth his substance or wastes his wealth. So when you around, oh, thank you, God. Thank you for that download. Wow. The Most High works in beautiful, mysterious ways. Brothers, stop tricking. Stop wasting what the Most High has given to you on harlots and Jezebels and seductress. Stop wasting your wealth, your riches, your mind, body, and spirit, your peace amongst the Jezebels, Delilahs, harlots. When you start getting wise, he'll keep that stuff away from you. You're wasting it because you're lust, you're desiring your sins. It's either to boost your pride and your ego. Oh, I got a bunch of women around me. Oh, it ain't tricking if you got it. The many ways we try to weave these webs and try to justify the acceptance of sin. It's not okay, beloveds. It's not okay to sit there and accept. But these harlots, these hoes, even these begging ass men out here who ain't about nothing, they will drain you of your wealth. They will drain you of your energy, your spirit. When you're not thinking clearly, when you're still operating from a place of desire and vanity, when you have not stripped yourself uncut raw all the way down to your core, you won't be able to see these things. You'll constantly be manipulated. You'll constantly be bamboozled and coerced because people have mastered their tears. People have mastered their tears. And they'll tell you anything for you to believe me. You have to believe me. Look at these tears. These tears are real. I made all of your wealth because these tears are real. No. Be careful, beloveds. Oh, the king by judgment establisheth. Okay, this chapter 29. The king by judgment establisheth the land, but he that receiveth gifts overthroweth it. A man that flattereth his neighbor spreadeth a net for his feet. Yeah, that flattereth. In the transgression of an evil man, there is a snare. Mm. But the righteous doeth sing and rejoice. The righteous considereth the cause of the poor, but the wicked regardeth not to know it. You got people who will step and walk right over you. Yeah. Scornful men scornful men inflame a city into a snare, but wise men turn away wrath. You got a lot of scornful people out here, men and women, who will scorch the earth with their bitter, jaded conditionings. They will scorch the earth because they want to justify the prideful badge of pain and hurt and their desire to want to still be intertwined and participating into their particular sins of choice. So they will scourge anything to protect what they have. You got people who will kick you out of the group. They will kick you out of the club. They'll kick you out of the nation. They'll kick you off the team because they want to protect. When you look at cops, who may be a good cop, but he gets fired from the force because he's not on this side with the sin, because his moral compass, his integrity wouldn't allow him to do that. It was the Most High speaking to him. The Holy Spirit came and helped that brother out. And we sit here and scream and cry because we get removed from it. But the Most High is, be ye separate, saith the Lord. Touch not the unclean thing. You knew that was unclean. You knew sleeping with your neighbor's wife, it was unclean. You chose not to separate yourself. You chose the one to scorch a good situation and mess up that man's home or that woman's home. You chose to want to scorch things because of how much wrath you may have had from that man, that baby daddy treating you wrong like that. So you scour the world to scorch. It's not good. If a wise man contendeth with a foolish man, whether he rage or laugh, there is no rest. Man, that's so deep. Whew, the bloodthirsty hate the upright, but the just seek his soul, or seek his well-being. The fool uttereth in his mind all his mind, but a wise man keepeth it until afterwards, or he holds it back. You have to be able to be mindful of what you do and what you say. A fool will utter and say all of the most stupidest stuff when they feel like their pride and their ego is being called into question, or if you get rejected, like on the Pop the Balloon show or something like that, you get rejected and you find a need to want to lash out on somebody like that. You know, you got to be wise because what comes out of your mouth is looking to hurt that person. Because that person hurt you does not mean you need to reciprocate that hurt back. Let God handle that. You hold back and have discipline and restraint. If a ruler hearken to lies, all his servants are wicked. The poor and the deceitful man meet together. The Lord lighteneth both their eyes. The king that faithfully judgeth the poor, his throne shall be established forever. The rod and reproof give wisdom, but a child left to himself bringeth his mother to shame. And that's what's happening to a lot of our young brothers and sisters out here. They are left alone. Their daddies don't give a damn because the daddies don't give a damn about the kids because the daddy don't give a damn about the woman. Because that man don't give a damn about himself, meaning he don't give a damn about God. So it's a trickle down of generational cursing that now he has pretty much Bluetoothed his sacred energy into exchanging with this woman to create another life. And when she's left, when that child is left alone, because they got to go to daycare, they got to go do this, and idle mind is the devil's playground. And the devil starts playing in that same playground with these kids. Ain't that interesting? And then they start idolizing all of these things. The SpongeBobs of the world, the baby sharks of the world. It starts bringing shame because there's nobody to actually nutritionally edify that child. So when he starts committing things of shame and you start getting mad and you help create it, when are the parents going to take that accountability and that responsibility? When they're left alone, what are they to do? Instead of them getting picked off in the wild, that hurt gazelle, what are they to do? They sit here screaming and hollering and hooting for you to love them, to hold them, to be with them. You made that child. And you just got the gall to leave that child to walk through the Sahara Desert to fight the heat, to navigate through the jungle from all of the predators that are out there, and to swim across an endless ocean to see you chilling on that island in paradise and saying, "Hey, son, hey, daughter, you made it 18 years later." For all of you parents out there who are doing this or who have done this, you have to understand we're in spiritual court. You are going to have to answer for these things. No matter how many kids you got out there and stuff like that, if you are not providing and protecting for them in all capacities, if you are not working as a union, whether you did split up because you as the adults didn't have enough sense to have discernment about the partners that you actually laid up with, you gave each other the highest honor that you can give them, and then you be dishonorable after that. Shame on you. And then to dump it all on a child to be like, here, you deal with your mama and daddy's problems. You figure them out. You go to school to get yourself educated so you can help us to better understand what the hell our shortcomings was. You cannot leave these kids alone because we're in spiritual court and the amount of infestation of spiritual attacks going on right now. You have to hold your children tighter. You need to love your significant other more. You need to appreciate the company you keep a lot more. Because we're not here forever. And life is short. And when we just operate going through our life, just careless and irresponsible, the Most High is going to hold you in account. You don't want to hold yourself responsible, but He is going to hold you responsible. He is going to make you eat that humble pie. He's not going to allow you to sit here and walk amongst this wicked world in delusion just to walk around so you can mask it, just to get by, so you can get your quick fix, so you can get your little cash off the ground, get your little quick, scheming. We're starting to brew these generations. I appreciate the separation of the beloveds out here who are knowing of the separation of what has happened for the last 400 years and then what is going on since the last 5 years. We still have a lot of brothers and sisters out there who are still within this delusion, in this disparaging thought of the market is still going down. We overly occupy ourselves with the devices of the wicked. We run away sometimes from doing the actual work that the Most High has given us. He has blessed you with that opportunity to get yourself together. He's blessed you with that opportunity to have that child to give you and teach you some of the most greatest lessons that you can learn. You were given the highest honor to be able to caretake for another life. That's powerful. My brothers out there, love your children. Show them more love. They need it. Right now, more than ever, all of my brothers out there, they need you more than ever, especially the young boys. I'm here to do whatever I can to be able to help. I'm Uncle Trey. I'm the uncle with the slides on with them playing the dominoes. Them kids got to go back to your home. I'm here to make sure that they have another perspective, not to persuade them or flank them and dissuade them into other directions. No. We're here to tell it like it is because this is Uncle Boot Camp. And Uncle Trey don't play. I'm here to help you save your soul. Amen. When the wicked are multiplied, and the wicked are multiplied, transgressions increaseth. Do you not understand that? You don't think your kids playing on your phone is looking at your late night dick pics of you and the man that you trying to holler at who ain't they daddy? You think they ain't watching all of these ratchet shows on your phone, your YouTube and stuff like that, even though you got the permissions on their phone or their devices restricted? These kids are smart. They see everything you do. They master it and they mimic it because you are the exemplary example in front of them. So if you are being wicked, they will become wicked. You are multiplying generations of wicked weeds that will grow wildly. They'll be outrageous out here while everybody complaining about them. That's because you, as the parent, didn't take accountability. You didn't step up and rise to the occasion, the challenges that the Most High put in front of you to sacrifice the ultimate sacrifice. Take yourself off the board. Most people don't want to sacrifice that because they still want to live in they young girl whole phase. Or the brothers want to still be out here and be the young jockeys. So you got generationism where you got people competing with the younger ladies competing with the old. Really, the older ladies are competing with the young because the young got it. It's a lot of older women who have messed up in their decision making. You have a lot of men who have messed up in their decision making who are now getting out of jail, out of prison for long stints, and they had to eat that humble pie. I'm encouraging my ladies out there to eat your humble pie because of the decisions that you've had to make. And let us come to a general medium in the path. Let us meet at the fork in the road and not take any of those evil, wicked paths, directions. Let's get back and hit the reset button and go back down the path, the narrow path, down the path of righteousness. Let's plant our own seeds where there is no trail. You never know where they may grow. We have to multiply, not the transgressions or the regressions or the aggressions. We must multiply the progression, the obsession in for the Most High and glorifying the Most High's progression in your life. But the righteous shall see their fall. Correct thy son, and he shall give thee rest. Correct your children. Correct yourself to correct your children. Because you got people out here beating their kids behinds, but you smoking weed. You out here still hoeing. You still out here trapping, getting locked up, and then you get mad because your child repeats history. Correct thy son. You need to correct the sun because the sun is going to shine truth on you. Correct your bulb because you're trying to hide off. You're trying to hide off in the shadows. You don't want the sun to correct you, to shine the light on all of your flaws and shortcomings and insecurities. It's better to walk the path of righteousness and truth than to be stubborn and walk the way of those calamities. Correct thy son, and he shall give thee rest. Yea, he shall give delight unto thy soul. When you lead by example in a positive way, your kids will follow as well. Where there is no vision, people perish. But he that keepeth the law, happy is he. A servant will not be corrected by words, for though he understand, he will not answer. Seest thou a man that is hasty in his words? There is more hope of a fool than him. He that delicately bringeth or pampers up a servant from a child or from childhood shall have him become his son at the length or at the end. That's deep. An angry man stirreth up strife, and a furious man aboundeth in transgressions. A man's pride shall bring him low, but honor shall uphold the humble in spirit. Whosoever is partner with a thief hateth his own soul or his own life. He heareth cursing and bewrayeth it not. The fear of man bringeth a snare, but whoso putteth his trust in the Lord shall be safe. Many seek the ruler's favor or face, but every man's judgment cometh from the Lord. So yeah, while we sit here and seek out the favor from the Simon Cowells of the world, the Barack Obamas of the world, to put people on a pedestal and worship these people and stuff like that. He's like, you put too much trust in man. You put too much trust in your Dr. Fauci's of the world, when judgment is really the one that comes from the Lord. We've lost sight of these things. An unjust man is an abomination to the just, and he that is upright in the way of his abomination to the wicked. Chapter 30. The words of Agur, the son of Jakeh, even the prophecy, the man spake unto Ithiel, even unto Ithiel and Ukal. Surely I am more brutish or stupid than any man, and have not the understanding of a man. I neither learned wisdom nor have the knowledge of the holy. And that's okay. That's humility. That's understanding that, man, I ain't picked up my Bible in a long time, man. I ain't been walking right. I ain't been doing right. I've just still been, out here in these streets. It's understandable, y'all. We know where you're coming from. You're not alone. I know where you're coming from. You're not alone. Who hath ascended up into heaven or descended? Who hath gathered the wind in his fist? Who hath bound the waters in a garment? Who hath established all the ends of the earth? What is his name? And what is his son's name? If thou canst tell. Every word of God is pure. It surely is. He is a shield unto them that put their trust in him. Great glory. Add thou not unto his word. So don't be adding on to it. Oh, man. You got all these different versions of books. Yeah. People have perversed and manipulated the words. It's like the Most High. I ain't changing nothing. It is what it is. I said what I said, and I meant it. Damn it. You know what I'm saying? So, lest he reprove thee, and thou be found a liar. And you got many who will lie, who will who will spin the block, who will word salad things, who will do mental gymnastics just to coerce you into the favor of their lies and deceit and deception. Two things have I required of thee, or requested of thee. Deny me them not before I die. Deprive me not before I die. Remove far from me vanity and lies. That's real. That's real. Keep the people that are fake, phony, and lying to themselves. I see the bullshit in your eyes. I see it in your wearing. And the vanity is so deep. Vanity right now is an epidemic. It is, oh my God, so overly infectious within our people right now. People rather hold on than to let go and let God. I've had to learn that. It's so hard for me to let go of so many things that I was holding on to, so many of my past traumas, my past pains, circumstances, and things like that. You have to be able to let go. You need to go to your ancestor altar. You need to go to the Most High. You need to be able to let go. Feed me with, remove me far from vanity and lies. Give me neither poverty nor riches. Oh my goodness, that's crazy how my mind is on that right now. It's like I just want the Most High's grace and mercy and favor, y'all. I just want the Most High's grace, mercy, and favor. I can give a damn about going back to the Grammys again. If I never sell one of my T-shirts that's on the wall or my hats or anything like that, I just want the Most High's grace and mercy. He will make a way for you at all times. If you don't put the Most High first, you're going to be put on the back burner. Don't get out here trying to chase anything in this wicked world right now. It's all poisonous, is all affected right now. The Holy Spirit is doing her job, cleansing and resetting the lands, retilling the lands to repurpose them and rebless them for the folks that are to come. Feed me with food convenient for me. Feed me with food that is convenient for me. The only food that is convenient for me is the edification of His Word, being able to stick to the laws and the commandments and statutes. That's the nutrition that you need. That is going to, it's not going to deprive you. Anytime I read anytime I read the Bible, it has not deprived me. It has edified me. I've been more fulfilled. And I felt like a fool. I was forgiving myself for all the times that I didn't pick up my Bible, or I didn't read my scriptures, and or I didn't, at the time attend church or anything like that, just to keep myself in the, I created this sluggish, slothful sluggardness of, you know, not wanting to participate in what the Most High is telling me to participate in. Just me and you, my son. Not with anybody and everybody else. Just me and you, my son. I'm going to fill you up. I'm going to fill your spirit up. If you have faith and you trust in me, I'm going to remove everything. I'm going to extract you down to your core of your bones. You're not going to like it. It's going to be painful. It's going to be painful. But if you have faith in me and you trust in me, you are going to come out on the other side with the greenest grass that you would have ever, you could never imagine. Lest I be fool and deny thee and say, who is the Lord? There's a difference between asking a question and questioning. Questioning is mocking. It's blasphemous. You're speaking in the Lord's name in vain, and you're questioning His ability to be God. Wow. Thank you for that. Lest I be fool and deny thee and say, who is the Lord? Or lest I be poor and steal and take the name of God in vain. Wow. That self-explanatory itself is, that's deep. It's a lesson for the day. Accuse not a servant, or do not malign a servant unto his master, lest he curse thee, and thou be found guilty. There is a generation that curseth their father, and doeth not bless their mother. There is a generation that are pure in their own eyes, and yet is, and is not washed from their filthiness. Wow, this is deep. We're getting in it. There is a generation, oh, how lofty are their eyes, and their eyelids are lifted up. Look how much people's eyelids are lifted up, whether it comes to the TikTok. Remember when TikTok almost got shut down? I saw people lose their damn mind because this was their way of living. And because they were not doing it of righteousness, you were doing it for the vanity. You were doing it for the glorification of your own thyself. There's many ways that the Most High is He's taken the toys out of the chest of us as adults. Put us on that COVID timeout. People couldn't go out to the movies no more, to the football and basketball games no more. Your TikTok toy gets taken away, you lose your damn mind. You get your bars taken away, you lose your damn mind. That's because you spoke the Lord's name, spoke God's name in vain. And the younger generation's eyes are so fixated on all of the materialism. Because the parents didn't know no better. They knew better, but they overindulged the kids. You didn't allow them kids to learn from ground up. So because you didn't give them that chance and that opportunity, you shortchanged them. Now they're overindulging into all of the wickedness and devices of the world. Their eyes are wide open to all of the poison candy. There is a generation whose teeth are as swords. That is real. You got people's mouth is crazy. You got women who cuss worse than a say they could curse worse than the worst man, which is unattractive ladies. Ladies, you need to have some grace. Much more. Especially now. Put some damn clothes on. Put some damn clothes on. I didn't come to the gym to see you in your twerk session. Put some clothes on. Put some sweats on, especially if you're trying to lose weight. Put a plastic bag under it so you can lose the weight. Sweat it out. You don't need to come with the most. I've seen some people with lingerie working out in the damn gym for that vanity, for that attention. Attention is the new drug right now. People's eyes are big when people give them attention. You may have a good man or a good woman in your eyes in your life right now, but because your eyes is wide open, because the internet then gave you all the options in front of you, you don't know how to act. You ain't satisfied. You ain't satisfied. But our mouths are what's getting us in trouble, and I've learned that now. How much toxicity was coming out, how much life and death was coming out of the tip of my tongue. My tongue was a sword. I said some horrible things to people before. Horrible. That I can't take back. They're gonna always go to. They're gonna forever look at me like I hate him. I can never forget him. I can never, you know, I could never. And that's that pride. Because you don't want God to tell you, I can never forgive you, my daughter, my son. You don't want the Most High to do that to you. And so that's where I had to repent myself because I didn't want the Most High to do that to me. Now, you can't choose your consequences. Yeah, you messed up. You made a mistake. You lost. Take it on the chin and do better. In their jaw teeth as knives to devour the poor from off the earth and the needy from among men. The horse leech or the leech had two daughters crying, give, give. And that's what we're in right now. We got a lot of people begging right now. People have lost everything. There's so many TikTok videos out there. People are begging, give me this, or you are broke at it. Oh, you ain't nobody. You ain't nothing. You ain't because you can't give me. That's the mentality that we've been living into right now. Crying, give me. I deserve for you to give me. I ain't never met you. You ain't never met me in my life. But right now, you need to give me. That's the mentality that's going on right now. There are three things that are never satisfied. Yea, four things say not. It is enough. The amount of leeching, the amount of people that are being repossessed or kicked out of their home right now is ferociously an epidemic right now. Say it is not enough. Like the grave and the barren womb, the earth that is not filled with water, and the fire that saith not, it is enough. The eye that mocketh at his father and despiseth to obey his mother, the ravens of the valley shall pick it out, and the young eagles shall eat it. Wow, that's so. Yeah, you may not agree with your mama being this and your daddy being that, but when you mock at them as if you're not susceptible to your own circumstances, that people will look at you like, That's why I had to forgive the people that may have hurt me because in my own reality, people look at me and my circumstances are like, So you want to be mindful of that. I'll never be a baby mama, and then you ended up a baby mama like that. Oh, I never sell drugs. I never do drugs. I never commit a crime, and look, and lo and behold, you end up behind bars. Be mindful of what you say. There are three things which are too wonderful for me, yea, four which will I know not. The way of the eagle in the air, the way of the serpent upon the rock, the way of a ship in the midst of the sea, or the heart of the sea, and the way of a man with a maid or a virgin. Such is the way of an adulterous woman. She eateth and wipeth her mouth, and saith, I have done no wickedness. And that's, oh my goodness. Wow. Ladies, I need you to take accountability because you're being hit with a lot of realities that you did not expect to happen in your life right now. We're in the same centennial year as the Great Depression, beloveds. The same things that happened during that time are happening now if you know your history. Not only that time, but this is biblical. That's why we're reading this. Because these things are repeating themselves. Ladies need to stop saying that you don't need a man right now. There's going to be a Great Depression, and if war cracks off over here, that Red Dawn, and Vlogenborg Grogan is over here, he looks at you thotting and boxing, and you look delicious to him, you're going to have some type of Russian hybrid baby or some Chinese kamikaze soldier baby because they didn't took your innocence. We don't think about these things. Men always think about things in such a we're in a war zone. We've been under attack for so long. Every day, from the moment we wake up to the moment we close our eyes, we are in a war zone. So the amount of stuff that men have to wear on their shoulders and protect from their loved ones from being hit by those strays. You have many that are committing the wickedness and just wiping their mouth and saying, I don't know what you're talking about. I was just eating. I was just being a Jezebel. I was just being a harlot. I was just being a Delilah. Yeah. For three things the earth is disquieted, and for four which it cannot bear. For a serpent, so as for a servant when he reigneth, and a fool when he is filled with meat or food. For an odious, or for odious women or odious women, when she is married, and a handmaid that is heir to her mistress. There be four things. That's interesting because it's interesting. So when a woman passes away, is she giving her heir to her mistress? Like, is that your apprentice? Is that somebody that is under you that if you go that you give permission for, like that's interesting. It almost is polygamous, but that's interesting. That's the first little polygamous scripture that I can recall right now when people be bringing up, monogamous and polygamous relationships and things like that. So it's like, are you passing the heir down to the handmaid or the mistress in that way? There be four things which are little upon the earth, but they are exceeding wise. The ants are a people not strong, yet they prepare their meat in the summer or their food in the summer. The cone the conies or the rock badgers are but a feeble folk, yet make their houses in the rocks. Rock badgers are hyraxes. Yeah, I never heard that word. I learn something new every day. Hyraxes. Hyraxes. The locusts have no king, yet go they forth all of them by bands or in ranks. The spiders taketh toll with her hands, or lizards, and is the king's palaces. There be things which go well, yea, four are comely in going, or stately in walk. A lion which is strongest among beasts, and turneth not away for any. That is mighty. A greyhound and a goat also, and a king also, whom there is no rising up. If thou hast done foolishly in lifting up thyself, or if thou hast thought evil, lay thine hand upon thy mouth. Surely the churning of milk bringeth forth butter, and the wringing of the nose bringeth forth blood. So the forcing of wrath bringeth forth strife. Wow, great Lord. Chapter 31. The words of King Lemuel, Lemuel, the prophecy that his mother taught him, what my son, and what the son of my womb, and what the son of my vows. Give not thy strength unto women, nor thy ways to that which destroyeth kings. It is not for kings, O Lemuel, it is not for kings to drink wine, nor for princes strong drink, lest they drink and forget the law and pervert the judgment of any of the afflicted. Wow. Stop drinking. I received that. Give strong drink unto him that is ready to perish, and wine unto those that be of heavy hearts or bitter of heart. Let him drink and forget his poverty, and remember his misery no more. Open thy mouth for the dumb in the cause of all such are. Uh, 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 wait. Open thy mouth for the dumb in the cause of all such as are appointed to destruction. Okay. Open thy mouth, judge righteously, and plead the cause of the poor and needy. Who can find a virtuous woman? Literally a wife of valor or worth. Who can find a virtuous woman? For her price is far above rubies. Yeah, I see that chapter all the time on women's chapter, on women's pages. And it's like, you're not a wife of valor. You're not a woman of valor. Why are you lying? Like, why are you lying? Like, you, your pussy is out showcasing to the whole world right now, lady. That is not valuable to a man who is of value, a man who is of purpose unto the Most High. Your value goes down. That's not virtuous. You sleeping, Miss Bunny, sleeping with 1,000 men. It's not virtuous. It's not sexy to any man. And all those men who participated in that, yeah, they participated in that sin. The Most High will judge all of them, regardless if you put on a mask, try to hide who you are. You can't hide from under the sun shining on you right now. Are you really a virtuous woman? Are you following the laws, Constitution? Are you following the laws and commandments and statutes? You shouldn't even have to say that you are a virtuous woman. It should be able to pour out of your essence. I don't have to say that I'm intelligent or I'm handsome or, you know, any of these things, good or bad. Because when they show, whether they're good or bad. If you show your anger, it's going to show. You don't need to say that, hey, I'm an angry person. That's good to let people know that you're angry. Oh, hey, I'm a nice person. It's good that you let people know. But when they see it genuinely, wholeheartedly like that, you don't need to mansplain or she's-plain your worth or your value. The heart of her husband doeth safely trust in her, so that he shall have no need of spoil. She will do him good and not evil all the days of her life. We need more of these women. She seeketh wool and flax and worketh willingly with her hands. Willingly. She worketh All the women that say that you ain't supposed to be working. You supposed to be working, ladies. You supposed to be working. You got caught out. The Most High ain't playing with you. He ain't playing with you. Wow. I'm reading what it says. It's right here. So all the ones that say that you ain't supposed to be working, you're supposed to be working towards building an empire. But you don't want to do nothing. You get married and you just it's just a bait and switch. You forgot your wifely duties. She will do him good. You're supposed to do him good and not evil. You ain't supposed to be no headache. You ain't supposed to be stressing nobody out. You talk about happy wife, happy life. It starts with you being the heart of her husband. Do it safely. He safely trusts you. Unless you were completely deceptive, which is going to snare your soul for being a harlot and a Jezebel, for being deceitful and lying that you were a truly virtuous woman. That man trusted you, and most men, when they love hard. And that's a scar that most men don't get over. We try to heal from it. That's why I try to create this space for men to heal just as much as women to heal. But you're supposed to seek out the wool and the flax and worketh willingly with her hands. We need you to work behind the scenes or in front of the scenes or right by us, side by side, building the laundromats, building the daycares. You're supposed to be seeking out these things alongside your man while he going to get the bag. You're supposed to be internet researching what can we do together and invest in, not no separate. You making it a he versus she type of thing, and you're falling into the manipulation of whether it's feminism or some white supremacist ideologies that have been ingrained in our and branded in our existence in generations that have come. We still got a lot of work and stuff to heal from, beloveds. But you were supposed to seek this out, and you're supposed to work. She is like the merchant's ship. She bringeth her food from afar. So just as much as he goes off to go fight the dragons, you're supposed to be over there in the field bringing the food, edifying yourself, learning why. If you're going to be a stay-at-home mom, you're supposed to be reading a book a week, a month, something to educate yourself so you can bring the food in. Hey, babe, I came across this idea. I found this investment. I found this opportunity. What do you think of it? She riseth also while it is yet night. She giveth meat to her household. This is your household. Why would you not contribute to your household? Why would you not want to contribute to your? It says you're supposed to contribute to the household, whether it's 50-50 or it's 100%. You're supposed to give 100%, and he's supposed to give 100%. So you can be able to give to your offspring. She riseth also, it is yet night, and giveth meat to her household, and a portion to her maidens. She considereth a field, and buyeth it. With the fruit of her hands she planteth a vineyard. You're the nurturer. You're supposed to plant seeds of greatness, not of despair and frustration and conflict and evil scenarios that came from the manipulation of a Instagram, a tweet, a YouTube video that manipulated you and coerced you into thinking like this instead of staying on the beaten path in front of your man. You got to picture yourself almost like the movie with Sylvester Stallone, Cliffhanger. Like you guys are both over the Grand Canyon hanging on a tightrope and you're holding each other's hands, balancing. It's a crazy balance because the wind is blowing. You're over the Grand Canyon, so already alone, it is frightening. And I've been to the Grand Canyon. It's the most amazing, one of the most amazing things that I've ever seen in my life. I promise y'all. If you've never been to the Grand Canyon, go to the Grand Canyon. The energy that I felt being there was, but picture like you're going over a tightrope to get to the other side. And you must maintain focus on each other, looking at each other, focused, locked eyes, keeping each other balanced. If you get to being wobbly and stuff like that, it's up to your significant other to help unwobble you and get you back in alignment, balance, equilibrium. If we're trying to keep this thing balanced and you just keep wobbling in it, no, I just want to fall off. No, I just want to, no. You're susceptible to making your partner fall down into what you want to fall into. We have to stop this. She girdeth her loins with strength and strengtheneth her arms. That's strength. That's real strength. You mustered up all the strength that's going to take you to be able to stay focused on that tightrope with the one you love. It's going to take strength. It's going to take courage. You're not alone because your partner is there with you. He got you. But it's going to take strength. She perceiveth that her merchandise is good. Her candle goeth not out by night. She layeth her hands to the spindle, and her hands hold the distaff. So just as much as the man is walking with the torch, you have to walk with the torch. You got to do the work too. This is accountability. You can't just be sitting around not doing nothing. This is accountability. Your hands, her hands. This talking about you, sisters. This is your hands. You got to hold it. She stretcheth out her hands to the poor, yea, she reacheth forth her hands to the needy. She is not afraid of the snow for her household. Wow. She's not afraid of when winter comes. She's not afraid. You ain't supposed to be running around, running away afraid because, oh, my man can't provide for me right now. It don't snow all year, ladies. It's only for a season. If your man is down and out for one time, he's just down and out for one time. He know how to bounce back. He gonna be all right. What he don't need is you being in his corner as his cut man, cutting him up even more. He already in the ring fighting Vlagenborg Kraken and the dragons and white supremacists and the drugs and his own temptations. You must not be afraid when it starts raining and snowing, beloveds. We gotta get the women from at first sight fleeing, at first sight taking flight. That's a bar. Yeah, let me look at that at first sight. Quickly. She is not afraid of the snow for her household. That is your household. You're supposed to hold it down regardless of however long it takes. That is your faith of your mustard seed in your hands. Just because you got a husband don't mean that you just ain't responsible for nothing in your life, none of your words, none of your choices, none of your actions. What kind of is this? No. It's saying right here, the Most High is holding y'all accountable. As many as I see these women put up Proverbs 31:10. It's like, you ain't kept on reading. You just stopped at that one. It's like, yep. No, no, it keeps going. It gets better. She is not afraid of the snow for her household, for all her household are clothed with scarlet. She maketh herself coverings of tapestry. Her clothing is silk and purple with fine linen. See, you're supposed to be the one to keep the house covered and taken care of, like, not to forget that just as much as the man is the protector, you're the protector as well. And you keep it covered. You are the help that helps keep it covered. The man is the help to help keep you covered. Her husband is known in the gates when he sitteth among the elders of the land. She maketh fine linen and selleth this. See, you're supposed to help make this house a happy home. It takes the work from you as well. You're not the only one who washes dishes. You're not the only one who takes the trash out. You're not the only one who pays the bills. You're not the only one who takes care of the kids. You are to contribute to the fine things of how this is supposed to become. She maketh fine linen and selleth it and delivereth girdles unto the merchants or sashes. And that's real. I run into so many ladies who ain't got no damn hobbies. You have no passion. I ask them, what are you passionate about? And you just go blank. You're supposed to be a creator. You're able to be at home and create. You're able to make use of the things that you have in your life. Utilize. If you're going to be at home, you got a home business. You got a home business. You got a home business that can go online business. You ain't got to go nowhere. And while your man is out there fighting the lions, tigers, and bears, bringing home the bag, he's praying, hoping, and wishing and expecting you to have not just been sitting around picking your belly button. Hey, babe, what you do today? I ain't did nothing. Nah, we're in 2025. Ain't no just, nah, I'm not doing nothing. We passed all these stages now. Pray glory. Strength and honor are her clothing, and she shall rejoice in time to come. Your strength and your honor are what keeps us covered. It keeps your children covered. It keeps your husband covered. The strength that it takes for you to have and to be honorable, not to step out. Same thing with him. Just talking to the ladies for now, but your strength and honor are what are needed. Not being dishonorable, not being disrespectful, not being weak enough to be susceptible to calling your man all type of horrible names. She opened her mouth with wisdom, and in her tongue is the law of kindness. Men will always love kindness, ladies. Men will always love peace. Our home is our place of peace. We want peace. We ain't trying to give you no headache, and we ain't trying to have no headache. We can communicate and we can talk these things out. She looketh well to the ways of her household, and eateth not the bread of idleness. See what I'm saying? I don't mind. It's the devil's playground. You are supposed to be full of energy, intelligence, resources, strength, and kindness, and love, respect. You were looked to, keeping the strength and the foundation honorable. Her children arise up and call her blessed. Her husband also, and he praiseth her. Your man will praise you and he will spoil you. The problem is you got many women who are doing things back asswards, where they want the man to spoil them before they even go on the first date. They want to give the man the highest honor by giving him a baby before he puts a ring on your finger. Many daughters have done virtuously or done well, but thou excellence, but thou excellest them all. And that's a thing that our women need to be able to humble themselves. Is being able to allow your daughters to be able to excel and be a much more virtuous and honorable woman than you were. You have many women that want their daughters to be out here in these streets just like them. And so the cycle still continues. Favor or charm is deceitful and beauty is vain. Wow. This can be. But a woman that feareth the Lord, she shall be praised. The Most High can take your beauty away, ladies. Your beauty is vain. And that you've been given favor and you want to be deceitful with that favor. You want to con people. You want to wear the mask and lie and con and scam and sabotage things like. It's not okay. Give her of the fruit of her hands and let her own works praise her in the gates. Great glory. When you get up and you do the work, when you get up and you do the work, you will be rewarded. When you get up and you take care of yourself and you fit feminine and friendly, your man will show you how much he appreciates you. Your children will show you how much they appreciate you. Same thing with men. It's not about worshiping or putting anything on a pedestal, but you will get your pats on the back. You will be praised. Not in the same idolization as the Most High, but you will get your brownie points. You will get your golden star. But you can't be vain and deceitful about it. You can't lie. You can't chill. You cannot. Accountability. If there's anything that I'm going to say about all of this, is the humility and the accountability. Humility is coming behind where there's a lot of women getting rejected now from men who have had to deal with being rejected for such a long time, whether it was because they were locked up, because of the I don't want no scrubs, because you don't make as much money as me, because you're not tall. And so we live in a time now where that humility and that rejection is becoming a strong reality in a lot of our brothers and sisters, mainly our sisters now, because they're seeing now that, oops, y'all drunk from the poisonous well of the wicked. The supremacist system tricked and conned y'all. And it's unfortunate that they persuaded y'all to look at us, brothers, as your true mortal enemies. Do you see how that even sounds or how that even feels? We got our sisters walking around like they look at us like we are their mortal enemy. I just want my beloved sisters to do a lot more self-reflection and introspection on that part. Because us men, we're doing it. And we're shutting up and we're quiet. And we're humbled. And we're listening. We're listening very much so. And we are leaving you guys alone. We're not catcalling no more. We're not cold calling. We're not hollering at you. We're not tapping you on the shoulder. We're not looking. We're not winking. We're not gawking. We're not handshaking. We're not. No. Because we were perceived as anything and everything that we may have done or said throughout history, and it's compounded and being utilized over and over again. And when you start seeing that, wow, there's a large population of men who are actually taking care of their kids now. There is a large population of men who actually got good jobs and working towards those six-figure jobs. There are a lot of men who are working on their physique. We have to get to a point in life where we actually start acknowledging the results that are actually starting to become the majority because of, I guess, black fatigue. I guess, I don't know, or anything like that, but we start losing sight of not allowing, we start glorifying failure and shunning success. We don't even allow the ability to forgive or second chances or reconciliation to occur anymore because of these devices, these wicked devices, these wicked manipulations have convinced us otherwise to hate, have wrath and rage, and put your bitterness and jadedness on a pedestal as the badges of sisterhood, that we all are in this together. No, it's not. Men are just very wise enough to step back and see that our beautiful beloved sisters have been weaponized in many different ways, not only to their brothers, not only to their children, but to yourself. And I want us to be able to have better conversations fixated within the book, not within the manipulations of dialogue that are, it's like you're already in check and checkmate. It's like it's a losing battle once you even enter it. When we get back to the foundation and the fundamentals of what the Most High wants for us individually and collectively, these instructions are explained directly to men. Men are not exempt in this either. Because as I'm reading this and speaking this is same identifications as, okay, I need to be an honorable man. I don't need to be out here being no hoe. I don't need to be putting I don't need to be doing none of that. I don't need to be out here selling drugs, poisoning my community. Like, no, I don't need to be doing none of that. I don't need to be out here lying about how I'm doing or what I got going on. I don't need to be doing none of that. So just as much as the men take accountability, I want our beloved, beautiful sisters to take this time as the deep introspection of a lot of the anger and rage and that we've had towards each other, that we've been turned against each other as mortal enemies. All the videos that I see, I'm tired of that and stuff like that. It's because of the culmination of white supremacy, 83, the wicked devices that have been implanted within our communities, in our houses, in our minds, in our spirits. We have to be able to, when in doubt, zoom out and be able to open up to the perspective that, man, I may have been tricked or bamboozled. So, yeah. But if you work, ladies, if you work, as it says here, give her of the fruits of her hand. Give her of the fruit of her hands. The work that you put in, it will be fruitful. When you put in the work for your man, you clip his toenails, you pay for the dinner, because the man is going to do everything for you, I promise you. Y'all keep making it a bigger issue than it needs to be. Men are just trying to see if you actually do love and care about them. That's all we want. We want loyalty and respect. We want peace. We want to be able to give you the world. That's what we desire, to see our woman happy. We don't want to see any more dysfunctional houses. We don't want to see any more broken homes. We don't want to see any more bastard children. If I can be able to help anybody out there, hopefully I do with this. Because I'm helping myself as well. And holding myself to the fire as well. Because I need my ladies to sharpen me as much as I'm here to sharpen you. It ain't all just on women, and it ain't all just on men. It ain't on the kids. Let's just stop doing that right now. It's not on the kids. They're innocent in all of this. They learn the conditionings as they go along in their upbringing in their life to make an introspective perspective that'll help guide them on their journey. But it really comes down to us being able to guide these next generations right now. And so I hope that I have allowed women to understand that your works, the work that you do, will be praised. When you go and holler at a man that you know that you like, he ain't married, he ain't got no kids, he's single. When you go up to him like, I find you attractive. Thank you. I find you beautiful too. You single? You want to go out on a date? Men love a woman who knows what she wants. You know you want that job. You know you want them heels. But nah, I don't know if I want that man. You don't know if them heels is going to break when you walking down some stairs. But you'll run head over heels to go get them red bottoms. Just like a man is he that findeth a wife findeth the good thing. Give us a wife to find. Give us a wife to find. Give us a mother for our children, for our legacies. Give us a woman that we can love. And that is the end of Proverbs chapter 31. And that is the end of the book of Proverbs. Shalom, family.